lot of times customers will immediately lean into wanting to bring those legacy data center technologies and concepts and sort of forklift them into AWS and use them there. When in fact, a lot of those functions can now be recreated using cloud native services in AWS. Application load balancer is a great layer 7 load balancer. Network load balancer is a very high volume, high powered layer 4 load balancer that can operate across a variety of ports and protocols. Gateway load balancer is another great option now that sort of gives you that bump in the wire approach to network inspection, where you can send traffic and still use your own type of security, third-party security appliance in AWS. AWS Network Firewall is a great cloud-native version of that now. Again, all these options are there for everyone now. So
there's obviously a fair amount of complexity around the AWS ecosystem as they build out the same kinds of capabilities that we're used to on premise, and be able to do interesting things with client-specific patterns as they get challenged. That's the technology aspect of it. Now there's a people aspect to it as well. So as we're working with clients, what do you see, or what are you being very careful to do in our delivery to make sure that the network engineers that are coming from that on-premise environment are getting what they need to be effective in the AWS environment? Sure.
Well, there's definitely an educational aspect of it. We really lean into codifying infrastructure with things like Terraform, CloudFormation, CDK, and helping those customers that maybe aren't used to that in their traditional on-prem world really understand the power of doing that in AWS, using code to deploy your network infrastructure. Because in reality, you can really almost recreate an entire data center in a matter of minutes using code.
What's interesting too is that basically means that now where I'm storing code for my applications, and it might be Git or whatever I'm using, I can version my network infrastructure in the same way that I'm versioning my application infrastructure. I think that's transformative. Like those sort of risky, or you call them sort of breaking changes to networking, right? Those don't necessarily need to happen now at a completely off hours. You feel much more safe because you know that you have a known good point to roll back to if your change doesn't roll out as expected.
Absolutely. Everything's version controlled. You can reference back to who made the last change when, and really zero in on those details of potential breaking changes and really avoid them going forward.